Hello, I'm Brian Doherty, and I'm from Belfast, where I've worked in the devolved government legal service, specialising in European law for many years. And I've come to Glasgow today to speak at the University of Glasgow's conference on negotiating Brexit. And my talk will be negotiating Brexit with a border, a Belfast Agreement, and a blueprint. I come from a part of the UK which has deeply held and deeply divided loyalties on national identity. And Northern Ireland's politics have been characterised in historical terms by three periods. Firstly, a period where there was an inadequate system of government with no power sharing between the two communities in government, which lasted for approximately 40 years, and where there was a persistent low level of politically motivated violence. Secondly, a period of direct rule from Westminster of some 30 years of what were called the Troubles, during which major violence was an enduring feature. Finally, however, under the political settlement in the Belfast, or as it's commonly called, the Good Friday Agreement of 1998, we've moved to a fragile but greatly improved and largely violence-free local democratic governance of some 20 years. Roughly from the time of direct government being imposed in 1972, shared membership of the EU by both the UK and Ireland pertained. And I believe this has been very helpful for Northern Ireland politics, allowing for a consistent continuing addressing of community equality issues, both by national and EU law in Northern Ireland, the all-island commonality of law provision, and the effective removal of border controls. And this has contributed to our shaky, but reasonably durable, agreed peaceful political dispensation. It follows that the risk of Brexit disrupting the Good Friday Agreement has rightly been identified by, among others, the Secretary of State for Northern Ireland as one of the most complex challenges in the UK's preparation for exit from the EU. Despite the current breakdown of our local regional government at present, there's reason to think that the key negotiating parties may have agreed on a regional plan for Brexit to put to the government of the United Kingdom. But as nothing is agreed until all is agreed, we do not know exactly what that plan is. Those with a key stake in the Brexit negotiations, that is to say the United Kingdom, Ireland and the European Union, all agree that the position of Northern Ireland is unique and that the biggest economic risk to any part of the UK is that to Northern Ireland. It is combined with a risk to the political settlement. In principle, stakeholders agree that there should be no return to a hard border on the island and that the peace agreement should be protected. Although there's no detailed plan for Brexit from the Northern Ireland government, there is a letter in general terms to the Prime Minister of August 2016, in which it was indicated that Northern Ireland wished to preserve the essence of the current status quo. That is, it wished Northern Ireland to stay in the single market and the customs union. It was concerned in various respects with the problems that might arise if those two were not maintained. This is in stark contrast to Theresa May and the government's desire to leave the single market and the customs union. Northern Ireland's desires, however, must be accommodated within UK policy and must be acceptable to Ireland and finally to the EU, which requires that any settlement must respect the laws of the European Union. So what has been rejected by the UK? Well, any part of the UK staying in the EU, and the requests for special status put forward for different parts of the UK thus far. What is left? Well, a more detailed plan for Northern Ireland than that provided by the Government of Northern Ireland so far has been put together by a group of interested individuals. It is rather like the Scottish proposed European Economic Area status model. And in my talk, I examine this option and I reflect upon the political setting in which it has been devised. Thank you.